Hey guys, so we finished our unit on complete dominance and Mendel. Well, not every organism is going to follow complete dominance. There are a lot of other inheritance patterns that are exhibited in the animal kingdom. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples first, and then we're going to work on human examples later. So the first inheritance pattern is incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is represented with all uppercase letters. So the example that I'm going to use is R. The other thing is I'm going to always use apostrophes. If you go online and look at some other tutorial videos, they're going to use different ways to express incomplete dominance. But I found when I introduce those same ways that my students often get really confused. This is the way that I learned in college, and this is the way that I feel everyone can separate each inheritance pattern and keep everything organized and clear. So we're going to use apostrophes and R's that are capitalized. The other thing is neither allele in incomplete dominance inheritance patterns are completely dominant over the other. So when you get the third phenotype, you're going to get something that's more in the middle, more of an intermediate. So the example I have for y'all is snapdragon flowers. When you cross a red snapdragon with a white snapdragon, you get a pink snapdragon. So it kind of falls in between. Neither one, the red or the white, is completely dominant over one another or completely recessive to the other. You kind of find like middle ground. They kind of compromise, and you get this intermediate phenotype. So the way you do it is, here's our Punnett square. So for a red snapdragon, this would be big R, big R. It's going to be red. Now, apostrophes are going to indicate a lack of pigmentation. So if you think about something that does not have a color, that's going to be white. A lack of pigmentation would be albinism. So our apostrophe is going to completely lack pigmentation and be white. But if, like I said, you cross a red snapdragon with a white, so you're going to give one big R and one R apostrophe, you're going to get this third intermediate phenotype, pink. Okay, so here's our legend. If we crossed let's say two pink snapdragons, so R, oh goodness, R apostrophe with another pink snapdragon. I want you to work this out, pause it, see if you can come up with a correct answer. All right, you should be back. So it should be now, one rule that I want you to take note of is that the apostrophe will always go at the end. So for example, when you're using possession, like John's pen, the apostrophe comes at the end of John's name. So always put the apostrophe at the end unless it's going to be a white phenotype. Okay, let's try the phenotypic ratio. Remember, the phenotype refers to the physical description, so that's red, white, pink. So this one is going to be red. This is going to be pink. This will be pink. And finally, I'll just use black for this one. This one is going to be white. So for the phenotypic ratio, it would be 25% red, 50% pink, and 25% white. If I were to do the genotypic ratio, it would actually end up being the exact same ratio because only one is homozygous R, so big R, big R. There are two heterozygotes, and there's one homozygous R apostrophe R apostrophe. So these two ratios would end up being exactly the same. Okay, hopefully that was helpful.